Good afternoon from the Red Mic. These are leadership and life lessons that I bring to you every day, 2:30 Central, live when I can on Facebook and YouTube, and when I can't, just on Facebook. I've picked up most of these life lessons through my 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and as a mediocre athlete for about 10 years with more heart than actual physical ability. But man, I did love the game and I learned a lot from it. Today's Red Mic message: authenticity. Yeah, I can fake that. No, no, you really can't. Um, when I was a country DJ, I would often play album cuts. Those are songs that really aren't meant for airplay, but I would do it and try to get away with it. And sometimes I was a lot more successful getting away with it than other times. Um, but one of the ones that I really liked to play a lot was Me and Hank and Jumpin' Jack Flash. It's by a country artist named Marty Stewart. Uh, Big, glorious head of hair on Marty Stewart. He fell down one time and, broke his hair. I'm kidding. But I love Marty Stewart. But there's a line in this song that was the primary reason I like playing it. Be what you are at all times and tell folks out there the truth. And that ain't going to cost you a dime. Well, I used to tell my kids that. I used to tell my football players that. And it comes down to authenticity, because being true to yourself and your values, that's what it's all about. I mean, and I've tried to do that in every aspect of my life. Have I always been? No, but I really do strive to be honest with everybody in my life, one way, shape, or form. I try to be honest with them. Because otherwise it gets tiring. If you're putting on an act, I mean, if you're honest and authentic, you don't have to worry about what you said being true, because it was. You know, I mean, how many of you know someone that that they're lying, and you'll catch them in stuff, and or they'll tell the same stories, but they'll have a little bit different information in them, and you're like, yeah, he's making that up as he goes along. Don't be that guy. You know, what's an example? Okay, Dewey from School of Rock. Yeah, he was a fake and a phony and a fraud, but when it came to the music, that's who Dewey was. That's what he taught his students. And through him being honest with them, at least through that, even though they still called him the wrong name, that authenticity that he showed them through the music came out later, when even he was outed as a fake, a fraud, and a phony. His students said, "Hey, we got a show to do. Let's go do this." And they melted some faces off, right? Just like he said. Yeah, authenticity is about ditching your facade and finding your voice. To thine own self be true. Like in Hamlet. Um, Leaders who are transparent about their strengths and weaknesses are going to foster trust and collaboration. Team members who feel comfortable at sharing ideas and taking calculated risks, they'll do that if they feel like you are giving them authentic leadership that encourages them to move beyond their current status. You're always pushing them to be better, pushing them to learn more, be more, get all the training that they can. You know, I I've been honest with my staff from day one about my shortcomings. I can do budget planning and putting the pieces where they need to go and figuring out, okay, we're going to spend this and we're going to do that. But when it comes to the heavy duty, the number crunching and the really pointy head, budgeting stuff, I've been honest from day one. I can't do that. That's why when I walked in my first day and my budget or my finance director said that she was leaving, I was scared me to death. Oh, great, I've got this brand new job, and now I'm going to have to do part of this job that is the very least favorite part of it for me to do. But I found people on my staff who were willing to take on other jobs. One of them in particular recently finished a pretty significant training program, and if I had told her, I think, 6 years ago, hey, 6 years from now, you're going to be here, I don't know that she would have believed me. Um, Thankfully, we've made those incremental steps. It's like I said in one of my very first Red Mics, be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. Just a little bit, just a nudge. And thankfully, she, stepped up, and to see the growth that she has made from then until now, cannot tell you how much pride I have in her. And I saw on LinkedIn earlier today that there was an article saying, don't always call people out in public because they may not want that kind of recognition. Well, I'm sorry, it's who I am. If I'm proud of you, I'm going to tell people, and hopefully that's one of my shortcomings that they'll forgive me for. Anyway, back to the red mic. The world craves authenticity. I mean, people are going to connect with you better if you're authentic, if you're real, if they feel like they can trust you and you're honest and you're leading with integrity. That's what it's all about. One of my friends in state government, a guy named Brian Francis, learned a lot from that guy. He's fantastic, and like me, he's a pop culture junkie. In fact, he wrote a book on leadership lessons that you can get from movies. A number of movie quotes. It's actually available on Amazon. Look it up. Anyway, Brian, great guy, and he said modeling authenticity is the quickest way to teach your team its magic properties of creating credibility and deeper connections. Isn't that great? So back to Marty Stewart. It all comes down to embracing who you are. You embrace who you are, you embrace who they are, you teach them, you encourage them to be honest and authentic, and you'll cultivate a thriving and successful work environment. I believe that completely. Let your authenticity shine through. Be what you are at all times. Watch your leadership soar and watch your team go with you. So how can you be more authentic at work? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to have this conversation keep going. And that's the end of today's Red Mic message. I hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it helpful. I hope you'll comment. Tell me, say, hey, Fortner, yeah, this is great, and this is what I think. Or Fortner, you're full of it. This is what I think. Either way, let's talk about it. I would appreciate a like, a follow, and a share here on Facebook. Also look on the other social media outlets. It's on YouTube when I can. I also upload it to X, also known as Twitter, LinkedIn, and on Instagram. Again, these messages are Monday through Friday. Even though Monday is a holiday, honoring veterans who have passed on, Memorial Day. I do intend on being here Monday. I hope you'll join me. I hope you have a great weekend. And remember, life is short. Drink the bourbon.